Hello and welcome to today's cryptocurrency technical analysis, where I am going to take a look at Ethereum. I am very excited to bring you today's video. Like I said, I'm gonna go over the Ethereum chart for a little bit, and I'm going to show you a couple of key levels, which I will quickly show here. Why these are key levels and how am I looking to trade it, so you can get a little bit inside my head, see what it's all about, how I read the markets, and of course, no financial advice, but mainly meant to educate you. And I have been covering Bitcoin for the past few days in previous videos. So today I'm gonna make a little bit of a change and take a look at Ethereum. So what are we looking at in Ethereum? So anyway, let's go to the charts. The thing is, when approaching a chart, I think what I really want to mention here is you can do, if you are knowledgeable about technical analysis and you know a lot about technical analysis, that's absolutely great. You can draw out your lines, you can use all kinds of different tools, but one must realize that a chart, every technical analysis tool that you might know, even if it's like more basic knowledge, like pattern trading, like head and shoulders, wedges, triangles, etc., they're all built by what the chart is giving you. And if you're unable to read that correctly, then it is unlikely that you will be successful in doing accurate technical analysis. And thus, you have less chance of winning your trades. So that is what I want to highlight on Ethereum specifically. So I have the following key levels on, which equal a monthly level, another key level, and a weekly level. And I will tell you in a second as to why I think these are levels, or these are the levels that I'm personally looking at. And the big question is obviously, has Ethereum bottomed out? Do we have room for the upside? Or are we gonna dump back down way lower? So here's the thing. I'm looking at the chart as follows. If you just literally look at the bear chart, I'm gonna put this on log scale so you can see it a little bit better. You can see that this chart is basically being divided into sections, right? So that is what trading ultimately for me is. It's all about dissecting the chart in the most creative. It's like a puzzle. It's, for me, trading is a game. It's not necessarily about making huge profits, but it's really about being able to see and to dissect this chart into little bits and pieces of information that then in turn I can tie them up together and come up with a plan on how am I going to use that information. And so that is basically what I usually like to do when doing my technical analysis, so to speak. So the first thing that catches my eye over here is, I would say, we have this region of price action, which was basically not necessarily a strong trend. It was an uptrend, but I wouldn't class it as particularly strong uptrend. However, I would class it more as a sideways piece of price action. Um, Naturally, when you move out of such a piece of price action, then when you get back to it should offer support. If it doesn't, or at the very least a little bit of a bounce, that is basically where you can start constructing your chart from. And once you then in turn are able to identify certain horizontal levels, you basically get the following levels. More importantly, I would say this one at the moment does not matter so much. This one also does not matter that much. This one even also doesn't matter that much. And you can see that these are targets really far away. And I guess the bottom line, what I want to bring with this video is, know what you're trading, know what you're looking at, know what kind of a plan you're creating. If you every time that price is dipping, for example, which is a word that many people like to use, buy the dip. That may be so. You might be correct in buying a dip. However, you have to put that also in perspective, because where are you going to trade that to? Are you going to trade that to all-time highs, or are you just going to wait until you are in profit, or are you going to make an informed decision based off of your analysis, so to speak? This is the one that I was looking for. I picked the following 3 levels, which I find at the moment one of the more important ones of the chart, what we're in currently. For me, I'm a trader that trades level to level, and I have no interest in aiming for these crazy high prices when the situation doesn't lend itself for that. I mean, if it happens, it happens. There's never a guarantee in trading. However, I like to put things, more down to earth, and giving me actual realistic information of what I can expect of price, or basically being prepared for what might happen. And that gives me these following 3 levels. And if you reclaim one of these levels, then you can simply look for the next level that's higher up. If you reclaim that level, that is when you can look for the level higher up above that. And if it reclaims that level, then you can simply look to trade it even higher. I'm not the person that is all the time on the bull train or the bear train. For me, it really doesn't matter where price is at, where price is trading. What does matter to me is, can I get levels that are very well respected? And that's what I'm using. And I'm going to give you 3 of those right now and today. So yeah, really these 3 levels. And this puts a lot of things, I would say, in context. If you zoom in a little bit on the chart, you can see that we've put in an all-time high. Then we went to the lower part of this section of the chart. And ultimately, we had a really big bounce from there, defining a monthly resistance level, which is literally 64% from here. So 64%, do you really need to trade all-time highs? I'm happy with 64%, for example, right? So that is, for example, one of the things that I'm going to trade for myself. This weekly level, nonetheless, is really important as well, because we first front run the level, then we had this 64% bounce, giving us basically a resistance level, defining that one, and then we had a retrace once again, swing failuring this level, and then basically now attempting to make our way back up again. An intermediate level somewhere in the middle of this purple level and this yellow level, we have another key level, which I class as fairly important. And you can see that this level is very well respected as well. You can see that it started from here, it got respected once, then the top level got respected, got rejected, got respected again, got rejected, got respected again. Then we made our way back down to this key level. We wicked a little bit through it. Nonetheless, we had another bounce of about 15%. Then we broke through this key level. We backtested that key level as resistance. We went down further from there. Then we backtested that level again, confirming that support at that time is now flipped into resistance, making it a really valid level. Only for us to then drop further down, taking out this low, getting into this yellow weekly level, and from there on out, we are now basically back in the middle of, I would say, this region. So one way you could trade this is simply looking for the range levels to be respected. Short the highs, long the lows, for example. And again, I must mention, this is absolutely not financial advice. So any type of decision making that you do based off of my opinions that I'm giving out here are fully your own responsibility. Nonetheless, I do think it's educational to explain my thoughts behind these kind of levels. So that brings me back to the puzzle of solving this puzzle basically, and this gives me literally 3 levels that you can trade from. So and this is where I might be interested in trading from these levels, for example. So swing failure patterning these lows, right, gave me a long opportunity, which I am currently in. Then we are now basically making our way up to the middle of this entire section, so to speak. And it's very well possible that we are now going to search for to see if this level is still resistance, and that is where I'm going to look to make my next trading decision. Anywhere here in between, in the middle, is for me not necessarily a very relevant level in terms of where I'm really interested to to enter a new position, so to speak. It is a take profit level, so I have taken profits over here. But I'm not really that much interested, for example, in entering a new trade, because as a trader, the part of the game is also to only find the best trading opportunities possible. And I deem these one as the levels that that are the most respected. So I more or less expect either something like this to happen. And can this happen? Yes, of course, it can happen, definitely. And that is why you take profits on trades, right? If I would have taken profits here and then simply get stopped out, it would still be a winning trade. No problem. And I will move on to the next trading idea that I have, if should we break this level, which I already have planned out. And I already know what I'm gonna do when this level is gonna break, for example, to the downside. However, at the moment, there's really no point in even speculating about whether that's gonna happen or not, because all that you need to know, or at least what's important for me to know, is that this did not happen, right? So the level is still valid. We are still above this yellow level, and we are below this key level. Those are the levels that I'm going to make my trading decisions based on, And then if we manage to, for example, break above this key level, that is the moment where the third key level, which is that level over here, this purple level, is going to come into play for me. In that way, I'm going to keep it really, really simple, and it ultimately really boils down to me thinking that we are simply being in a range. And that is what I will trade at the moment. So I kind of expect something along the lines of this, maybe get a rejection, then flip the key level, and then making our way to the top of the range. Or alternatively, we basically move straight up into this level, and then get basically a rotation back down to the low, to this key level again. Or alternatively, we maybe break the complete level. But that is also fine for me, because although it's not part of my trading, of this current trading idea, if that happens, then I can simply look for the level that is above that level and execute the plan that I already have laid out already. And I can start executing that kind of plan until these levels are not being reclaimed, or if this level is not lost. It is absolutely no use to utilize one of these plans that I basically have on my shelf, because it's simply not relevant. And at the moment, it is nothing more but speculation. So yeah, that keeps things really a lot for me in perspective. And I thought it was helpful to give you a little bit my view on what I'm looking at the moment. And hopefully this was educational for you of how I dissect the chart a little bit, and how it makes sense to not not act based off of feeling, but actually off of technical levels. So conclusion of this analysis really is we are simply in a sideways range. We have swing failure pattern this low. hit a key level. Now I'm simply looking for the next key level. If we reclaim that level, I'm looking for the level above that. If we get rejected from that, then I will be simply looking for this key level again. And if we lose that level, then I will be simply looking for this yellow level again to come into play. If we start trading outside of any of these levels, then I will look for the level that I have mapped out above that or beneath that. Simple as that. Gives me no stress. The plan is ready, and that is how I'm looking to trade Ethereum onwards. Hope you found this helpful. Hope you find this useful. I hope that you learned something. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe.